So when you're new to the trading or investing world, figuring out what indicators you should be using on your charts when you're first learning can kind of be confusing. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly out of my 3 years of day trading experience, what indicators I think you should be using as a beginner to keep it dumb simple. And I'm also going to show you how to add them and use them on TC2000, TradingView, and Thinkorswim trading platform. So as I'm sure you're aware of, trading is not an easy thing to do. It requires a lot of training and a lot of knowledge. What you want to make sure that you avoid as a beginner is using too many indicators on your chart. The natural tendency when you're a beginner is to add more information, but that's actually going to cloud your clarity and not allow you to actually see what's going on the chart. So adding more indicators isn't usually a good idea. Less is more when it comes to trading. Ask any professionals, they only use a handful of things. If you see a chart with a bunch of different weird things on it, chances are that's not a professional. So I'm gonna explain to you exactly which ones I use and why, how to set them up on TC2000, TradingView, and Thinkorswim, just so that you have a little bit of a foundation when you're learning to trade and you have some good indicators that are gonna add clarity rather than noise that's gonna distract you. Okay, so let's get over to the screen. The first indicator that I'm going to talk about, and I have a full video on this if you want to learn more about this, I'll link that up top right there, but it's called VWAP, which stands for Volume Weighted Average Price. It's basically going to be a line that the stock, if it's going to continue the same trend, is going to bounce off of most likely. So this is kind of just like a quick tool you can use to get the general trajectory of a stock and be able to know what side of the trade the stock is currently on, what direction it's trending on, how strong, and where the support and resistance levels are. Okay, so as you can see, SDGR moved up, and then right here, it comes down and it basically bounces off of VWAP, right? And then it continues moving higher and goes up the whole rest of the day. Okay, so if you use something like a moving average, okay, a moving average is a reactive indicator. Okay, what is a reactive indicator? A reactive indicator is something that moves as the stock price moves. Okay, so if you're trying to use simple moving average crosses or exponential moving averages, those are good on a larger frequency. But if you're talking about day trading, I promise you, moving averages are not going to help you at all. Okay, I've talked to so many professional traders on the corporate side as well, and they shit on moving averages. Okay, so do not use moving averages. They're gonna waste your time. I spent like a year and a half trying to figure out how to use them. And the thing is that when you look at the chart after the move has been made, they're gonna look spot on. It's gonna be like, oh, well, if I only follow this simple moving average, I'll be fine. Reactive means it moves with the stock price. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, VWAP moves with the stock price. Yes, but what it does is it's weighted by market participation. So the amount of people that are trading at a certain price is going to be reflected by VWAP. It's not just going off of the ups and downs of the stock itself, which is going to be really confusing. So moral of that story, do not use simple moving averages. Do not use exponential moving averages. I promise you, I've been trading for about 4 years now. Don't use those. Use VWAP, and that is it for support and resistance as far as trends are concerned, okay? The way we're gonna set this up on TC2000 is we're going to right click on the chart and we're going to hit add plot. Okay, we can just type in VWAP indicator, okay? So it comes in here. Since we already had one, it just goes back to like what the stock color is, okay? I like to right click on here, hit edit, and then I go into this light blue color. And there's no standard deviation. You don't change anything about the indicator. It is what it is, and that's what's so amazing about it. You don't change any sort of deviation. It's simple, it's clean cut, it shows you support and resistance. That's all you need to know. Okay, the next indicator we're gonna be talking about is what's called, or what are called Bollinger Bands. Okay, Bollinger Bands, I'm not sure how the actual formula works as to calculating them. I read about it at one point, But what they do is they calculate volatility. Okay, so as the bands open up, that shows an increase of potential volatility. And when the bands narrow, it shows points of consolidation. Okay, so why do I use these? Bollinger Bands show you when the stock price is moving abnormally high or abnormally low in the trend itself. Okay, so if you look right here, so as you can see, every time that the stock price moves outside or close to the outside of the Bollinger Bands, it pulls back in. You see it right here, this has a slight pull down, and then you see this spike right here, goes outside the Bollinger Band and pulls back out. Bollinger Bands are a reactive indicator, so it's going to move after the fact and look like it's a lot more helpful in hindsight. But if the stock price is trading outside of a Bollinger Band, it shows you that it's super high up or super low, and it shows you that that's a little bit abnormal. So that's the only reason I like to use it. It kind of shows you where the volatility is expected, and you can also kind of memorize the way that the Bollinger Bands move when there's certain moves are going to happen, and you can kind of just intuitively figure out after a certain amount of time where the stock is going to probably go based on the shape of the Bollinger Bands, and you'll learn that as you use them. So Bollinger Bands show you when the stock is too high up or too low on a trend, and it can also really help you when you study the shapes to figure out what the next move the stock is going to make. Okay, the way we set that up is the same thing on TC2000. We hit add plot, we go to Bollinger Bands, Bollinger Bands, just a regular one. Then you're gonna click on the stock itself, and it's going to put Bollinger Bands up there for you. Bollinger Bands shouldn't be what you use as a main trading system, okay? This is only just kind of some perspective on volatility and projected future movement of the stock. So just keep that in mind when you're using them. So I like to keep them extremely faint, so I'll drop the opacity with this button down to basically to the point where you can't really see it, but you can barely see it, just so that it's not distracting when I'm looking at overall price action. Okay, so the third indicator, actually I guess there's four, I said three in the beginning. The third indicator is going to be volume. Volume is simply showing you market participation. So when there's someone buying shares or selling shares, it's going to be reflected in these little bar graph lines right here. Okay, so in this 5-minute increment, considering that this is a 5-minute chart, so one candle equals 5 minutes worth of price movement, you can see that the total volume traded in this candle was about 70,000 shares. Okay, so 70,000 shares were traded in 5 minutes in this stock. Okay, so you can see this, and you can see what levels of participation are actually happening just by looking at volume. All you're doing with trading is you're really looking at what people are doing and try to get on the right side of that. Okay, so looking at how many people are selling, how many people are buying, etc., can be very helpful to figure out when you should be getting into positions and when you should not be getting into positions because of maybe if the participation is too low, you'll never be able to get the move you're looking for on that stock. So volume's extremely important. The way you're gonna add volume is you're gonna, once again, right click, add plot. Okay, look up volume indicator. It should drop it down right here, and then you can just kind of move this around. You can right click on edit and you can change the colors. You can change what kind of, if you want a line graph, you can do that. If you want bars, if you want dots, some people like that. So the fourth indicator we're gonna be talking about is what's called MACD. Okay, MACD stands for moving average convergent divergent. Okay, so what this shows you in simple terms is when there's a change in overall stock trajectory. Okay, so you have a moving average that's running next to an exponential moving average. So I'll just show you on the screen. So here you have a simple moving average right here trading alongside an exponential moving average. So an exponential moving average is being weighted exponentially towards the most recent data, whereas simple moving averages are just an even distribution of a set period of data, and that's how it's being plotted. In simple terms, simple moving averages are less reactive to temporary price movement or most recent price movement compared to exponential moving averages. So when you have a simple moving average crossing through an exponential moving average, it shows a severe change in potential trajectory of the stock. And that's exactly what the MACD can be used for. It's kind of showing the overall move and when stocks are going to continue moving up or start making their descent down. Okay, so people use MACD crosses a lot to show like when they should be switching their bias on trades. That does not work. It's not that easy, so don't just try to buy at the crosses. People will tell you that too. It's nonsense. Don't try that. But you can definitely use it to quantify. Like I use it to quantify data for formulas. I use it for a bunch of different things. It kind of just gives you like a visual perspective of like the ebb and flow of stocks up and down. So, and when there's a change in trend potentially nearby. So the way you add that, same thing. Right click, add plot, MACD, boom. Click that and it should be put down. You can adjust the colors, you can adjust the parameters on the MACD itself, so the period of it, the sensitivity of the exponential moving average. Whatever works for you with your system. I recommend just leaving it as is and just studying off of that, unless you really have a burning desire to change it around. So yeah, that basically covers all of the major day trading indicators. So you have VWAP to show you the overall lows and highs of trends and where the support and resistance is going to be. You have Bollinger Bands, which is going to show you when volatility increases or decreases, and it's going to show you when stocks are trading too high or too low for the trend. You have volume, which is going to show you market participation. So how many people are buying, how many people are selling, and you're also going to have MACD showing you the ebb and flow of when there's potential trend reversals. Those 4 indicators are going to set you up for success to be able to effectively learn easily and be able to look at charts and not get distracted. Like if you look at this chart, this is not distracting at all. It's just literally a trend. We have the Bollinger Bands tucked in the back. We have VWAP showing us our overall trend. I have a long-term moving average that I don't really use. And then I just have volume and MACD, and that's it. That's all I use. And I'm able to keep my head clear and make clear decisions based on price action and trends and market participation, which once again, if you ask the professionals, that's what they will tell you is the right way to go about it. Okay, so now that you know how these indicators work, I'm not gonna keep telling you like how they work each time, but I'll show you how to put them onto different charting softwares. So let's go into Thinkorswim right now. So I have it pulled up. Okay, so I have Bollinger Bands here in VWAP and volume. So if we want to add volume, same deal. We already have volume being plotted right here, but if we want to have it as a lower indicator, once again, go into studies, add, and then just go down to volume. So we're going to go to volume average, and then down here now you're going to have your volume being plotted. Same thing as before. You're gonna see the market participation in the bar graph form, so that you can judge the market participation off of that. And then finally, last but not least, the MACD. We go to quick add, and then we go over to the MACD, 2 lines, and then boom, we got the same indicator. Once again, you can go in and edit it however you like just by going over to studies and then edit studies and then click on the MACD. Okay, and then you can edit that however you want. So I think I erased the VWAP by accident, but you get the point. That's how you set it up on Thinkorswim. You can have those same indicators on your Thinkorswim chart, and you'll be good to go. So now let's pull up Trading View. So we just go over to this tab, and then we type in VWAP, click VWAP, and now we have VWAP on our chart. Same deal. If we want to edit this, we go over to this button right here and click this little wheel, and then we can edit all of our stuff in this tab, so that you can change the plot color, you can change the line thickness and everything. So if we want to add some Bollinger Bands, once again, click the indicator tab and type in Bollinger Bands, regular. Okay, now we have Bollinger Bands on our chart. Once again, we can go in over here, click the gear, and if we don't want the center band, we just unclick bias, and we'll just have the upper and lower band. And you can change the color like always. So you'll have that. Then if we want to add volume, once again, go over to the indicator tab, type in volume, net volume, just regular volume we want. So now volume will be plotted on the bottom of this chart right here. And by the way, guys, you can buy this and you can pay, I think it's like $10 a month or something for no ads. Okay, you can use this to a certain degree, and it'll just keep popping up ads. So I don't know, I don't use it enough to want to buy it. It's just one of those things. So I just like deal with the ads, but yeah, that's how you do it. You can get rid of the ads, and then if you want to add a MACD, we can go to indicators, type in MACD, and then click. And then that's going to give us our MACD indicator down below. So we'll have everything that we need to be able to do our day trading and look at our charts. All right, so if you've made it to this point in the video, I just want to say thank you, because I know this was a little bit long, but this is hopefully information that's going to allow you to be able to shorten your learning curve on day trading. And I hope that you take my word for this, because this isn't just my opinion. I've literally taken the collective thoughts of a bunch of people that really know what they're doing, and less is more. These are the main indicators that aren't mumbo jumbo, they're not noise. Okay, these are things that will really help you be able to analyze your charts, to help you to really do your technical analysis and create a trading system that's going to be clear and allow you to make money. Okay, so if you want to learn more about this, I teach this and so much more in my own trading program. Okay, I'll link that below as well. It's called Ameritrade. I literally take you from square one. I teach you everything that you need to know about the markets, about stocks in general, and then I teach you the system that I've back tested for years and figured out and refined to be able to be a successful, consistent day trader. So I teach all that. It's way faster than just watching YouTube videos and getting random information here and there. So I will link that below. You can use the code GAINS at the checkout and you'll get 25% off, just because I love gains, honestly. That's just a word that I love. If you use GAINS at the checkout with a Z, you'll get 25% off. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Please, 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 if you're here still and you're listening to me still, subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn that bell on so that when I post new stuff, you'll actually know, and you'll be able to continue to gain that knowledge about stocks. I really appreciate any support that you do give me, and once again, I hope this video actually helped you and wasn't just a waste of time, or that you didn't skip through it. So until next time, take care and enjoy your trading.